I wanna kind of get your take on the creative process. I want to get some insight into the creative process and what it's like when you actually sit down and translate the idea into words and into what it is that you're trying to do, man. So if you
Yeah, of
don't
course.
mind, indulge us here on the behind the scene podcast. What is your history of writing? When did you start writing, bro?
Okay. I think I spoke about the first thing I wrote was like a story. Well, I wouldn't really call it a script. I didn't understand the format when
Mm-hmm.
I was younger. Was Rollerball. I forgot what I called it. But it was like a gritty underground sports sports movie. Um, that was the first one, that story probably wise, that I actually wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that that I like. Oh, this will be cool. And then I saw the trailer, and the trailer for Rollerball, and I trashed
Out of there. Out of
out
there.
of there. But the first one I would say I took seriously, where I like wrote out scene one, interior, all that shit. Um, was a superhero movie that I was writing for Tyrese in mind. Um,
So this
yeah,
had to be like circa 2000,
this is old.
2001, somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
it's old. I still have it somewhere.
The
Like,
baby boy era, yeah.
yeah. I went original with the power. I still haven't seen anyone that's used that power before. Um, so I guess that um, for creative process wise, I kind of think about how it's gonna end,
Okay.
and then I kind of put pieces together. So for when I'm writing, it's more like a puzzle. So I know my beginning, dope, my end, dope, and then I put pieces to make sure that everything fits to make the end make sense. Um, it was pretty good. Ugh, it was the power is cool. Probably have to update some shit if I ever wanted to do. I don't want to do anything superheroes, but uh, yeah, that would be the first one that was that I wrote that was like formatted and shit for like as a movie. And
Okay.
then after that, I wrote like heaven versus hell story. That one's still fire. That one I'm still gonna do. Um, but you can't do it you can't do it broke. So
Right, right.
um, so I just pocketed it for whenever the money comes for that. But that one's gonna be a good one because it's still a pretty good twist that I haven't seen. Um, and then after that, it'll be a lot of like chunks of stuff. I got a lot of chunks. Well, this will be a cool concept, and then with the concept, I'll probably add like a scene or two. But I won't flesh it out. And then yeah, I got a lot of chunks of stuff, and then a lot of concepts, and then I wrote Fatherhood 3 years ago.
Man,
Down,
3 years
yeah,
ago. Final
yeah, I wrote
draft.
Fatherhood. Yeah, I wrote Fatherhood 3 years ago.
And okay, so with that, was there any rewriting that you went through with that, or when you were done with that final draft, it was like, no, this is what.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? So, I wrote Fatherhood. There were some scenes in it that I left blank because I didn't know how to express it at the time.
Mhm.
So I will do that because it won't slow the narrative down to take something out. And sometimes you got to take the courage to be like, this is all right to leave till later. Um, so that would be like a preemptive rewrite will come for that scene instead
Okay.
of me just filling it in. A lot of people will just fill it in, just leave it blank, come back to it. Um, so Fatherhood was the first one that like I would show people and be like, "Yo, this is fun. This is good." So that like felt like that validated my writing, and then I wrote "O Kingdom Come" after that.
Man.
Yeah,
Okay. So obviously creativity and writing has always just been something that you've been drawn to then, right?
absolutely.
So my next question for you, because I'm intrigued by the creative process, because we
Yeah,
all have ideas, but the ability to translate your idea into something tangible, like that's a skill and it's a talent.
Mm-hmm.
But how many ideas have you had that you never kind of materialized? Like, so do the ideas that you kind of discard, the ones that don't make it to paper, do those make the ones that do make it to paper stronger? You
Absolutely.
feel okay?
Yeah. I think it does, because so especially us, like as we review stuff, there's going to be a little bit of a critique in mind. So we're going to condition ourselves not to come up with formulaic stuff, like, because we don't want to, we don't like it. So we're not gonna, we're gonna come with, so anything we come up with off rip is going to be pretty, it's going to stand out. So if I come up with something, and then I see another version of it or something, I'll trash that, but I can keep some elements that I'm like, yo, you know what? This can still work somewhere. But the concept might be too similar, but I can take the elements and put it somewhere else for sure. I did that. I did that with I'm writing something called Exodus. That's going to be something crazy too. A lot of stuff from Exodus is stuff that I put a lot of it in fatherhood. Like there's a scene that he's at the store picking out a doll for his daughter, and I just like the imagery that he's in the front of the aisle, and it's all like white dolls. And he's a black father, and he's like, God damn, like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't even have to say much. That's like just the shit, but it's like
the visual, just the visual of it, right?
Like, because that's happened to me. I'm like, damn, like, what do I pick? You know what I'm saying? So, like that was something that was from Exodus that fit more in fatherhood. So I just took it like that fit more in fatherhood. So, I'm always I feel almost relieved sometimes when I can discard an idea because
man, really,
because you don't want to. It's not. There's so much. There's like so much stuff. And it could take your 7 out of 10 story that's similar to something else and make another one like a 9 out of 10.
That's interesting.
Because of the elements.
That's interesting, because I would think that you would want to kind of, and it's not that you're discarding the idea. You're kind of like using that one idea to place it somewhere else, to where maybe it could be served in a better capacity attached to something else. So you're making inventory for it, but you're kind of saving it to use, for something that might be better down the road.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how did you learn the screenplay format? What was your introduction to learning that format?
First, because the first way I was writing, where I'd write like scene 1, interior, that was just, I figured that's the way it works at first. So I'm very descriptive, like even if I'm not expressive, but I see things very descriptively.
Right.
So when I'm trying to set a tone or something, it's very easy. Like my description, it was my sister. Like my sister went to film school, so she was like, "Your descriptions are too long. It's not supposed to be a fucking day." I'm like, scene 1, night, maybe evening. So I learned to refine that, but so that part was easy because the way I was doing it before was way harder, where I'd be like write a page for how to describe the tone. I always wanted it so if someone picked it up, they would feel exactly what I'm talking about.
So where they can just jump right into it.
They can just jump right into what I'm talking about. So that's the way I used to write right before, and I refined it to the accepted format. And I still write like that. When I'm writing the way I want, I still write like that. But if I'm showing someone, I refine it for them.
Man. Yeah. Oh man, this is so okay. So you started on O Kingdom Come 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
I started O Kingdom Come. So the name I settled on like 2 years ago, but the concept of like an African kingdom, an African kingdom struggle, that was like 2016. I've been like, so like again, the concepts, right? I have the idea and I'm like, okay, well, I can just set this to this and then bring everything over. especially after Black Panther. Uh, I had there's a place that I really was really significant in the story of Kingdom Come, which was the waterfall place. But what Ryan did with that waterfall, and I had to trash it. I had to trash it. It was gone. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, you had
So
to put that one
I
in the
got rid of the
bin.
waterfall. But
Yep.
it still works. The concept, what I used it for, still works. But I just couldn't use the same waterfall. It was exactly. I'm like, this is exactly the way I saw that shit. Fuck.
So, okay, now, I'm glad you mentioned Black Panther. So,
Yeah.
and, you know, I might jump around with some of these questions here.
No, you're
But
good.
how do you avoid "O Kingdom Come" kind of being a derivative of that?
Right.
Like,
So
how do you avoid that?
yeah. So like that's the trashing stuff, right? So like even if I left that waterfall concept in with what they did with the where the warrior happened, because of what's happening in O Kingdom Come, you wouldn't really think that way. But I'm always thinking of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any comparisons to some other bigger IP. Right. I don't want anything that's close. So so it's harder to be like, oh, it's just like blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, did you read it? No, not really. So that's how I avoid it, because the derivative things, that's the end of your. That's basically the end. Serious. No matter what you put into what you're doing, if it's a derivative, that's the end of it.
Yep.
That's
you don't stand a chance.
You don't stand a chance. Marketing wise, anything wise, you don't stand a chance. There's no way. All they'll say is blah 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 knockoff. Yeah. Without even checking it out.
And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that some of these things happen, because it's weird how it works. Because sometimes similar ideas can pop up at different times, at similar times.
Yep.
And some of it might come down to who had the resources and was able to use those resources quicker.
Yep.
And then before you know it, it's a wrap.
Illusionist and Prestige came out the same year. What? I'd be mad as fuck. The Illusionist and the Prestige came out the same effing year, man. Bro.
They didn't stand a chance with Christopher Nolan. They didn't stand a chance.
There was no point. And they had what's his name attached? Norton.
They didn't stand a chance, dog.
And it wasn't a bad movie.
Nope.
It just got eaten up like the same year. So I don't see that's why. And everybody's always like, oh, what? There's different ways to interpret art. And I get all that, but your stuff is dead in the water if it's so easily comparable to something off rip. It just is. Unfortunately, it's not fair, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I agree with that. So my next question then here is there a challenge, Trent? Because O Kingdom Come, you're going for a graphic novel with that, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So is there a challenge going from screenwriting to working on a graphic novel, or is it a similar format?
Oh, it's different. It's I don't want to say it's easy to adapt either. But it's easier than a novel to adapt. Because a lot with screenwriting, what I found, especially after directing that movie, was the frame. You can fit so much in a frame. The sound, the score, all that shit. It helps tell the story, and that stuff is gone to you in a comic format. So, it's a different. It's definitely. It wasn't easy, but it's easier than a lot of other mediums, I'd say.
Okay.
So it's easier for your artist.
Okay.
So if you give your artist a script, you're gonna come out with a pretty good comic book. Rather than, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so when you're writing a comic book, because as far as the format goes, when you're putting it down on page, are you just kind of plugging different things in, or do you start at the top of the page with, okay, this is where this is the location, and this is everything that everybody is saying. This is where this character is standing. This character, it's always boggled my mind how somebody writes a scene for a comic book. That just seems
I
like
agree.
an impossible concept to me. It seems
So
impossible.
I got super lucky, bro. Especially after doing the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That the artist that I got. So I had like I worked with the guy from Indonesia first. Loved his work. It was very Conan the Barbarian. So the first few pages I actually kept it because it fit the aesthetic of a seer is seeing the future in the beginning of the book. So I kept it so like it'll look weird because she's like seeing the future. Like they don't have faces and shit. Um, so that like he was really good, and then in the middle I had some people and they didn't get what I was trying to do. And then my current artist actually reached out to me. He's like, hey, I saw like some of these pictures you're looking for. I'm like, nah, man, I'm trying to black on black on black. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Bro, you know, so you can't
for the
dude
culture.
like was pursuing me. I'm like, let me send you, okay, you know what? Like, here's a page. Like I said, here's a deposit. Let me see what that looks like. That shit came out fire. The guy get what I like, he got what I was trying to say. He get what I'm trying to do. He gets the idea of like hyper masculinity and a vulnerability in that. Oh shit, I lost him.
No, we good. We good. I just had to. My damn phone fell on the floor.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah, we good.
He got what I was trying to do with the expression. So, those kind of artists, giving them a script would be dope. Like, cause you can trust that they get it.
Mm-hmm.
There's other people too American comic style. I wasn't really looking for that. Pow, and I wasn't really looking for that kind of stuff. And nothing wrong with stop it. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course.
I just wasn't looking for that for this.
Right.
So so yeah, I would say the script like in a TV or movie format will be amazing for an artist. They'll love that shit. Like they'll be like, oh wow, they got angles and shit. Like they'll love that shit when you're doing a comic. So I write it where like I still set a scene, and then the only difference instead of my scene and us understanding that there's gonna be like a dialogue between two people, I do panels now, and I set the panel between 5 and 6 panels per page. So on each panel, I have to show that this guy's perspective, other guy's perspective, whatever is happening on each panel. So that's the difference between the scene and then the panel part.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned dialogue because that's my next question here. When writing dialogue for a screenplay, short film, anything that involves live action or actual actors involved reading, memorizing the script. What's the biggest difference from carrying over dialogue from that format into a comic book? Because I know that has to be a challenge. That has to be a major challenge, right?
It is. I even tell you, very interesting. I have a scene with a woman where she's delivering fire ass lines. Like, I needed to make more art to support the lines rather than scrunch it all up into a panel with like her character. I didn't want to do that. Like I wanted to I can make some expression. I made another page to get the lines out. I don't want to go down the lines. That's like the beauty of the story. Like the dialogue drives the story. So I made more art. So I would say don't always the dialogue drives the story. At least I believe so. At least a good one. So if you need to get another page to get that proper dialogue out the way you imagined it, do the art. Let's do the extra art to make it do that. There's some really good lettering techniques that you can letter without it overshadowing the art. Yeah, definitely let there be some more art to go up with the dialogue. Because that was challenging, getting a bunch of stuff in a bubble. I didn't like it. I was like, why is it all crunched up? So
are you of the belief that when it comes to dialogue, that less is more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I hate exposition. I can't stand it. And the funny thing, that's a comic book thing, right? The exposition thing. I can't stand it. I refuse. I won't do it.
Oh man. Okay.
I didn't do it. I refuse.
Wow.
I can't stand it.
So, so when you because that's interesting, because I think in some respects, comic books or traditional comic books rely on that so heavily to get the reader to understand what's going on.
Sure.
So how do you go against that then? How do you break conventional standards in order to convey what it is that you're doing without that exposition dump?
And that's where I feel like the dialogue came in.
Okay.
I did the dialogue. I also did like a motion comic thing, and I'm not just going off my tunnel vision. That's really important. Like, do you get like I sent out issue 0 of the book to make sure like shit, are these motherfuckers gonna be able to follow what's going on? But yeah, they were able to follow. So I'm like, so that means your dialogue's good. That's probably one of my things. The dialogue, I'm pretty good with dialogue, and character journey. I think that's probably what I'm decent at in story. So the dialogue should drive it. Because the way I wrote Okino Come as like a fire ass pilot. So like I wanted Lost, I wanted Battlestar Galactica, I wanted Game of Thrones. First pilot wasn't bad. But I wanted a pilot. Like what's the thing that people would be like, yo, that was the best first episode of something I ever watched. So that was the first, that's how I wrote O Kingdom Come. So the best way to engage a crowd, you don't do exposition. You give like, what? Who's it? Okay. What's going that guy, that motherfucker, because someone's gonna try and piece it together themselves by like it's a puzzle. So that's how you engage an audience, by not giving them, oh, it is the year 846, and so
man,
dialogue for sure.
That's a fire kind of perspective there. That's a fire kind of angle there, because at the end of the day, the viewer doesn't want to feel like, I know as a viewer, as somebody that watches damn near everything, I don't want to feel like my hand is being held through the entire thing.
Especially nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
It's either going to be good or it's not going to be good. But there's so many shows that veer away from that, and the quality of the writing tends to go down. And as it progresses, it just gets to the point where it's like, all right, they wrote this specifically for them to try to guide me through it. They don't trust me enough to be able to piece it together.
Exactly.
Like, and I can't stand that. I can't stand it.
Either, especially when like it's not that okay. I get it. Yes, like I know who that is. Like it's obvious. Like I get it. Especially because like it's like they don't trust the viewer to be smart enough to get it.
Right.
There was a show I watched, and I was talking about this in the court. Fucking Severance. And the thing about
Apple
dialogue,
TV, right?
It's TV. It's on Apple. The thing about dialogue, they didn't have a lot. They haven't had any exposition in that show. You don't know what the fuck's going on. And I'll give you that for like, I'll give you that all season, to be honest. But the average person, I don't know how long they give like being that confused at what the fuck is going on. But man, the payoff.
It's worth it.
Holy shit.
It's worth it.
It was amazing. It made me feel like, oh man, my pen game I need to sharpen up. Severance. And it wasn't, I'm like, damn, this is amazing. Like, where is everybody? This is a masterclass. Phenomenal. Just dialogue. The whole thing was just dialogue, bro. Severance, incredible.
How many episodes is that?
It's 8.
8 episodes on Apple TV.
It's amazing.
All right, I might need to check it out tonight.
Like,
I think I might give the pilot a shot. I might get a pilot a shot.
It was good. It's good. It's a good one. The main actor doesn't look like the unusual person, but it's not just about him. And what they did, it's crazy. It was just it's not even the concept dope, but the execution was just
okay.
Pen was crazy.
Okay, so Oh man, now that you mentioned execution,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, you admitted this yourself. You have a high standard when it comes to entertainment.
Absolutely.
So, are you more of a fan of a new idea or execution? Are you willing to settle for maybe an idea that's not all that original if the execution is carried out in a way that nobody's approached it before? Or
Absolutely,
do
yeah.
you give more credit to a new idea? Like, what's
I
your
give more
balance here?
credit to an old idea that was executed in a way that makes it feel new.
Okay.
Because that's kind of what we're talking about. The deconstructions, those soups aren't new ideas.
Right.
So the execution of it makes it a new idea. So yeah, that's a masterclass to approach something. What George R. R. Martin did with the medieval European whatever is Tolkien. It's all Tolkien. Game of Thrones is Tolkien.
Yeah, it is.
It's Tolkien, but his execution of what he did, really leaning into the flaws of that time and everything. It's amazing. The writing's amazing on it. I don't know if it was executed well towards the end, if that's the show or him. The last book's not out yet. He may not release it for judgment, but
there's so much to unpack with that last season of Game of Thrones, man. So much to unpack there. Like for me, and I've talked to Donovan about this too. Just because I didn't really like how that ended, I can't take away from the work that they did for almost 10 years.
Absolutely. No, it's still incredible.
So, I mean, so execution is everything, is what we're saying here, right?
It's gotta be. Jumper was a new idea.
Yeah, Jumper, yeah.
And I'm mad as fuck about it because
Jumper could have been a franchise.
I would have loved to do a Jumper. But like now it's gonna be like, oh, when your shit comes out about teleportation, oh, it's like Jumper, right? Like you just put your blood and tears into something. Now someone's gonna be like, oh, it's like Jumper, right? Can you imagine that shit?
That would hurt. That would hurt.
Of course it would hurt. That would hurt so bad. You know what I'm saying? I lost sleep over O Kingdom Come.
Oh man, hey, but like so as a creator, like O Kingdom Come, for lack of a better term, is your passion project, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say it's my magnum opus, I'd say.
All right. So if it meant, like, let's just say hypothetically speaking, scenario here.
Okay.
If you, as a means to get to where you could push O Kingdom Come the way you needed to, would you be willing to like write for an IP that you maybe feel isn't up to that standard?
And it doesn't conflict?
And it doesn't conflict. Yeah, it doesn't conflict. But you know, you're gonna come in as a mercenary writer. Because I think that
so the group shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
as a mercenary writer.
That recently, and I bowed out pretty quick. And it wasn't like it's difficult because your name's gonna be attached to something you don't fully agree with.
A staff writer.
Your name will be attached to it though. So that'd be tough.
To be a staff writer, to be a mercenary?
I mean, it'd be tough, especially since it's not like I'm into like a lot of stuff. I don't want to write for like, it's the same thing. So I program, right?
Yep.
So I wouldn't go become a programmer for Snapchat because I program. I program my own stuff. I don't want to program for Snapchat. You know what I mean? I don't need to program for Snapchat. It's not my first. I don't want to work for Snapchat. They say do one of them, and then you do one for you. Then you do one for you. Dirty game.
The barter system, man. It's the barter
But it's
system.
true. Misha Green, right? Misha Green was writing for Underground. She got Lovecraft. I didn't love Lovecraft. I didn't love Lovecraft at all. It's difficult. Yeah, it's tough. I'd rather make something like an original version of something, and then maybe, we're gonna adapt your thing. And if they don't agree with the way I'd want to do it, I want to not to be tied to it. You can pay me, but I don't want to be tied to what your adaptation is. So people can still go back to the original, like, you know what? This was all right, but let me go get the original thing. You know what I'm saying?
Sold separately.
Yeah, exactly.
Sold separately.
I might change, but right now, I've tried that thing where I'd be like, oh yeah, we should do this. I'm like, and then this would be good for this character. Because whenever I'm pitching or I'm thinking like down for the character arc down the line. It's not like I'm not just trying to. It's not a participation award. I'm like thinking of where it could go. So Charles wants to be Alan to Alan Moore that shit. Oh man.
I mean, no, but and what you're saying though, that takes, especially in this industry that that everybody's trying to occupy here, that takes a lot. Like it takes a lot of integrity, and it takes a lot of, I don't want to say morality, but you're bringing something to the table that most people wouldn't be willing to do. As a writer, obviously you feel as though you have a particular skill set. You feel as though that you have skills to be able to tell stories within this medium. Yeah. For a lot of people that are trying to do this, their dream is to be a staff writer so that one day they can slide their screenplay under the executive's door and then just play it off. Like, for you to say that, what you just said, like that takes a certain level of assurance in, no, what I'm able to do is better than this anyway. Like, I don't want to put myself in a position to where I'm compromising anything just to be able to get somebody to look at my script and say, maybe we got room for it somewhere down the line in a couple of years. But in the meantime, go ahead and keep processing these pilots and these,
Yeah. That's rough.
Like that.
Go process these pilots.
Right? Like, but and
like there's pilots on your desk. Wow.
Bam.
Oh no, I couldn't do it. Same thing programming. I program. I had a game. I went to pitch it to the president of Zynga. Mm-hmm. This was like 2013 when I was really into programming. And he just told me, and I'm glad it happened that way because I needed it to know how this shit works. He was just like, "This is good, but this is a public company. Like, we can't just take some guy's game." He just told me straight up. And I was like, he said some guy's game. He could have ignored me. He could have strung me along. And the thing that I didn't like was that I could tell who's on the server. Mm-hmm. They were playing it for months. People, I was like, damn, I got to shut this down. So I had to shut the server down. But I needed to know that. I'm like, okay, so this is a bread thing. So like, if I was some dude or I had some story like I'm an African and I'm missing 5 of my toes, but I wrote this game, that would help their PR. So like so I learned that you gotta do that, but you still need the product first. So that's been my approach to things. Get the product, then figure out how you're gonna make some shit up that will make them want, oh wait, who's this? What's this? So it helps their bottom line.
I get what you're saying.
That story where you make the game and you meet the guy and that shit doesn't work. That shit doesn't work. At least not for us.
Right. I know. Oh man, Charles, this is fire, bro. So I get what you're saying here. So your philosophy is that let me make the product as good as I can make it. Yeah. If the product is already desirable, I can make, and you might be giving away some game here that you probably shouldn't be giving away.
Everyone should know that, I think. It's good to know. It's a good thing to know. I don't mind giving stuff up. It's good. It's good, right?
I mean, you're right. You're right, but I just don't want. I'm hoping that this doesn't fuck anything up.
Nah, why would it? What? And that's the thing. That's the problem, right? Because that's how a lot of people approaches this stuff, and I know what I'm talking about. Like, what harm did I just do telling people to focus on the thing to make? I didn't give up any of my stories.
Okay.
I didn't give up any of my character arcs. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that people get lost in thinking that there's like
a formula.
There's like a thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, make the product, make it good. It might take longer, but it's more sustainable than, oh, I'm gonna pop off this thing, and then you got to figure out how to make it pop off like last time every time. So
man, that's fire. That's fire. So with this game,
it's more tough. It's definitely harder. I mean, I'm probably like, I gotta work while I'm doing this so I can. The cease and desist is being mailed right now.
Oh man, I know you've heard those words before. I'm sure you've heard those words before. Without, I know, Brother Donovan. We've discussed this. He's seen those before. I know you've at least seen one cease and desist. Yeah. At least one at some point in time. But yeah. So with that game that you were mentioning, then. So you said they were actively playing this.
They were playing it, bro. Zynga. And
Words
with Friends.
Oh man, like that.
Words with Friends, owned by Facebook. They were playing it. I'm like, okay, maybe they're just looking at something like, nah, this nigga just logged in again. So I took it down. They haven't done anything similar yet, and no one's done anything like it. It's a number game. Okay. But I'll go back to it when I got bread.
Oh yeah. But like he said, we can't just support some guy's game.
But I appreciated that because like you can't just, and it's facts because we're thinking, oh, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? Mm-hmm. You do everything you're supposed to do, and you get it to the guy, right? You get it to Jay-Z. He's gonna put you on, bro. Time to rock.
Here, take this Rockefeller chain. Take this chain. Take this Rockefeller chain and stand next to me in my next video.
We've been waiting on you. You're the chosen one.
So what? Oh man, this Rockefeller chain right here. We've been waiting just for you. Like this
just for you, man.
No,
I had a dream about you.
Yeah, hey, but I dig it. I respect that. Like that's how you know that your feet are firmly planted. You know what I'm saying? But so you don't. There's no ill will behind how that situation turned out. Like that was a learning experience.
That was good. That's the truth. He's the president. It's a public company. He doesn't walk into the board and be like, "Oh yeah, we found this brother from." Made this game from scratch. What do y'all think we should do about it?
This is the greatest thing ever. I'm gonna put my job on the line for this game right here. If y'all don't publish this game, I'm walking.
And you know, and it was a little bold. You know, I was in San Francisco. I was like, I was a spec in Rice. So
man, you were in Techville, Tech Central.
I was in Tech Central. No one looked like me.
Oh man.
So that adds another thing, you know. I don't know if it would have gone differently for someone else, but it was good to know because I think I've always believed, especially in tech, which is why I gravitated to tech. No matter what I look like, if this shit works, it should go. Like as long as I own it, I made it. I can prove to you I own it. Like it's tech. Like there shouldn't be any bias. The only thing that can probably happen is that you're trying to steal it.
Right.
In tech, it's not supposed to be like that. Like I understand art and entertainment. It comes with its biases, but tech is like functional tools. If I made the screwdriver, it doesn't matter. It's the screwdriver, whether like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's always my approach to making anything. Like if I make it and it works and it's supposed to work and I did everything I'm supposed to do, it's proven, then eventually it's just a matter of time.
So how do you go from now I'm interested in this here as well, brother. Like how do you go from the world of tech where there's a backup for everything, for the most part, my limited knowledge of how some of these things work, there's a formula, there's something to back up everything, right? It's not that there isn't room for creativity, but it's creativity that follows a structured format, right?
Sure.
Like, if you're presenting something, it has to be backed up by numbers, statistics. Data. There's something tangible on paper to back this up, to explain how we got to where we're going, or how we're getting to where we're going, right? How does that carry over to writing and creativity? Because the creative process is subjective. There's no set formula to being a creator. Like, how do you carry that over, man?
I think the only thing of value that I can probably take from tech into writing is like, well, a couple things. So the actual process of writing, I think it lets me have a clear view of like story beats. So like I wouldn't have written that the queen goes nuts at the end of Game of Thrones like that out of nowhere. I would like sprinkle something here, sprinkle something there. This girl's about to go off. Sprinkle something there, and then like, in fact, I'd have her almost go off and then subdue herself and then just snap right there. That's what I would have done. So like that, I don't lose that part. It doesn't get lost in my writing. And then the second thing is to make sure like I'm not fooling myself. So if I'm writing something and it ain't fire, like I need a good gauge. Like this shit ain't hitting, man. It's not it. Like this thing's not hitting, because if you build on something that's not hitting, like
what are you doing?
So I think those are the two things I found valuable, is like just like having a not fooling myself. I'll be thinking, and I'll be driving, like, oh man, it would be so fire if I did that. I'm like, nah, that's trash. What am I doing? That's garbage. So
with that being said, what did you think about Silicon Valley?
I never got to the show.
Yeah,
I never got to watch Silicon Valley.
I've seen like 2 episodes.
Bro. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's hilarious.
I mean, from what I've seen, it was pretty funny, and I'm wondering like how accurate a depiction like that is of the tech industry. Circa.
I haven't seen it, but I think it's pretty accurate. I've seen *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Oh, talk to me about that one, because that's the one I need to see. I need to go back. Good. Yeah, because like that's good. Like on. That's like on every like top television shows of the 2010s.
I like what they did with that.
That's on everybody's list.
And it hits because it's about them missing it. They always miss the big time by like that much. So they'll go with and that's what we're doing, right? Like they'll make something, the drama of making that thing, and then like showing it to the world, and they just miss it every time. Like they just missed it. That shit hurts, because it's like you pour your soul into something, and then you're like, oh, I just figured out this new thing with the keyboard, and then Xerox releases the fucking mouse. It's fucked up, because when you're creating, you almost have to isolate yourself, right? And oh man, this is fire. Like you're making it, and like you got and their shit's different because they got people financing them. These companies come in, everybody's so into it. But there's someone else somewhere
doing the same thing with more.
Just half a step ahead. I love the execution of that show. It was brilliant writing, really good.
Yeah. So
I think it's 3 seasons.
So with that, because all right. So with that show, did they write it in a way where somebody that knows nothing about that industry or that world can just watch the show and have an understanding of the story they're trying to tell?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. They did the thing. They got so like in tech, like every big blow up, Snapchat, whatever, there's always these people, right? So there's somebody that's the brains, propaganda versus quality content.
Oh man, what up, Vonell? What up, brother? What's up, brother?
There's someone that knows the tech side, right? Then there's the marketing, the business guy, the face, and then there's the money guy.
Oh man.
Like, so they got characters for these people, and it's about how they interact each time. I'm like, oh man. It was brilliant. I love
that relationship there is like the foundation of the entire show.
Exactly.
Okay.
The dogs.
Yeah, man. Hey, Vonell, pull up, brother. Pull up, Vonell. Pull up, man. Pull up, brother. So that, like, oh man, because I know that AMC had a lot of gems during the 2010s, and that went under the radar. That's one of the ones that went under the radar. But that's on every like top 10 list of television in the 2010s. That's on everybody's list.
It's really good. It's really good.
So I mean, all right. So I guess just kind of keeping this in a theme of creativity and writing and everything like that. Okay. Have you ever been in a writer's room? Still need to watch Mad Men. Yes, you do, brother. Like, have you had that experience of being in a writer's room?
I've been in a Nigerian one. I don't think it's the same as like a US one. And I've been like in an indie one. Oh man! But I haven't been in a big budget writer's room. Okay. So the indie one wasn't fair because I would just that's not gonna work. So.
All right. Well, if you can, if possible, walk me through that experience of being in the indie writing room. What is that like? What does it look like?
So we're doing pre-production for Fatherhood. Everyone, we did the thing where everybody does their version. The reading. We did a reading, and then one of the producers that came on was, this is good. You know what? That tub scene might be difficult. Can we make the girl a boy? I'm like, no, it's not gonna work.
Not gonna work for me.
It's not gonna work for me, brother. But yeah, so it's just little things that everybody wants to edit something. And I feel like the writer's room, if it caught your eye, that's the reason y'all are here. You should be working to make sure it stays as close to what it is. Because it's what caught you. It ain't everything. Why y'all here? You guys got here off the script. So that was the biggest. It was just that, and I can imagine it's pretty much like that. Somebody will say something. What show can we use? Wait. They did it with Avengers. They wanted Clinton to die, right?
Yeah.
It's like don't you dare take that away from her. Don't you dare. This is her moment. Don't you take that away from her now. We're in a weird climate where no one can even push back and be like, story-wise, I mean, it kind of fits for Clint to be off right here, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Now we're going back to make it make sense why Clint shouldn't be off. So I imagine something very close to that. And I'm sure it serves a purpose quite often.
So this is my other question then here. In that setting, okay, so in that setting that you're talking about here, you were the decision maker in that setting, right?
Yeah.
So is it a challenge for you? Like, what's the balance between sticking to your guns and at least trying to be somewhat receptive to what's being presented? Because with your vision, with you being the one that shaped this entire endeavor and then being presented with new ideas, there has to be a balance somewhere between, yes, this is my idea, this is my vision, but I also know that y'all are here for a reason.
Exactly.
What's that's the balance?
Where the tech side, I think that's where the tech side comes in. So like, I'm open to something better. But it's got to be better. I don't want it to be the same. Like on the if we're both on an 8, you're not gonna give me another 8. Like the 8's gonna stay the same. Give me a 9. Give me a 10. There you go. Okay. It's got to be better. If it's better, I'm not even gonna hold on to it. I'm like, oh yeah, because I want the best version of the product. So it's got to be better though. A lot of people just like to chime into things. Yep. For the sake to chime in.
And I think. And not to cut you off, go ahead, bro.
No, please. No, that's it. That's the truth. A lot of people like to chime in.
So how do you check your ego? So yeah.
I'm really hoping I really hope, because I don't, it's not really about me. I just want the thing to be really good. Like, I just want the thing to be good. Whatever we're working on, I just want it to be good. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's detached from me. That the thing is itself. So I feel like I just have to speak for it. Like, okay, if it's good, then let's do it. I'm trying to see if I tweaked anything off of what they said in Fatherhood. I'm trying to think. The actor that played the guy in Fatherhood, he had an idea. I had an idea of a really like Brandon Scott. You know Brandon Scott? Can I say this? No, he doesn't.
I'm not familiar. I'm not
Brandon
familiar.
Scott is he was in Dead to Me.
That show,
Dead to Me, with the two chicks and the husband died or whatever.
Sounds familiar.
I'm trying to see what he was in. So I had him in mind, which is more of a like this the scowl kind of guy, and he but he looks like there's a pain to his eyes kind of thing.
Okay.
And that's what I had in mind for the father in Fatherhood. And the actor that ended up doing it is more of a, he looks intimidating. He looks more like he's like 6'2", probably, like he's more intimidating. And I wasn't feeling it at first.
Brandon Scott was on This Is Us. He was the teacher. He was Randall's teacher.
And This Is Us. Yeah, that guy. So that's the one I had in mind when I was writing Fatherhood. But when Homeboy came and I saw his audition, I was like, yo, he did something with that role. Like that. He took it, he made it something different. Mm-hmm. So like that. So like, I feel like Ego, I'd be looking for Brandon Scott. Like this is Fatherhood. I want Brandon Scott. You know what I'm saying? But that guy killed it. He did something completely different of like this needed, masculinity to that hides the vulnerability because you're trying to protect your child. So did something completely different with it. So like he would tweak things. So I would have him do a take of my line, whatever the line, and he would do a take of his.
That's fire. So, that's fire, bro.
In the editing room, we'll see what it looks like.
And this is a decision. This is a decision that you're making from the director's chair.
Correct. Yeah.
Man, that's fire. So in this, because I'm interested in this in particular. So in these moments where you're doing these takes, you're calling it right down the middle. You're saying we're going to do my take, we're going to do your take, and when we get to the cutting room, we're going to decide right there.
Yeah.
So there's no bias on the set where you're seeing him run through his lines and it's like, mine was better.
Nah, I just want the best. Man, if this movie, if I do well and I take it to a festival, that's money. Like, I want the best version of the product. So yeah. So I want the best version. Like, if you bring me, like, if I have an 8 and you bring me a 9, I'm taking the 9. I want the 9. I want the 9. I want the 10.
Right.
So that's where I see it. Yeah.
That's fire, man. Because I imagine that there are probably a lot of people that are not willing to check that ego.
I agree.
But like you said, at the end of the day, it's not about how many directors can you think of, man? How many movies can you think of that you read up on that you know of?
Yo.
hey, my man Donovan is in his bag right now. But like what I'm saying, like how many movies could have been better if the creative force behind the scenes to all of that was willing to check that ego?
That's the thing. I think that is the pioneers of art. I think that's one of their issues. I think that they think they've been ordained to have the best vision for something, and sometimes you just don't. I think that's one of the things. I think that's where tech lets you separate. Oh man, I really like my version of this from this looks amazing, or this sounds way better this way. So I think that's where I get to balance it.
So. All right, man. This is some fire content, bro. We almost hit an hour, and it don't even feel like it. Don't even feel like it, bro. This is fire. Can you give criticism? Okay, can you give criticism like that on set? That's a great question.
Absolutely. And this was a smaller movie. And they would ask, like, what do you think of that line? I was like, yeah, I mean, I was trying to, and I'm okay at wording things so people don't feel offended. But yeah, for sure. At least on this set. I don't know what's gonna happen when you start dealing with these bigger, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
Samuel Jackson says he doesn't do anything over 5.
Wait, what?
Samuel Jackson said he won't do anything over 5 takes. He refuses. He won't do it. Use one of them, he said.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like that's some gangster shit right there.
That is super gangster.
But like, is he telling Spike Lee that? Is he holding Spike Lee and Quentin Tarantino? Is he holding Spike Lee and Quentin Tarantino to the same 5-take limit?
Probably not. Probably not. I believe it.
Like, or is he giving them at least an 8-take grace period? You know what I'm saying?
Y'all get 3 more.
Yeah, we'll do 3 as a warm up. Three takes as a warm up, and then five for the final draft, and then from there talk to my agent. Right?
That's crazy.
So what? Okay. Do you think that because you wrote and directed Fatherhood, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Bruce Willis is the worst from what I hear. Well,
oh no, bro, Bruce Willis.
Oh man. So like, do you feel like there's more pressure on the director or the writer? When things go wrong, who gets more blame? Does the director get more blame, or do you think the writer gets more blame?
From internal or from the audience?
We'll say both.
I feel like it'll be different. I think the audience will blame the writers. And I think internal, because the director makes the decision on, I think they'll blame the director internally. So like the Snyder cut. Oh wait, no, even better. No, this is perfect. Whedon and Snyder. Whedon's just a different director than Snyder.
They let Whedon get off scot-free.
Then Geoffrey Johns wrote that.
Ooh,
right?
I think him and Snyder both.
They both wrote it. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Snyder definitely had writing credits on it. So, whose fault is it though? It's probably the director, because you can change stuff on the fly, and the director's supposed to make that decision on the fly.
Man, like that. So what is the relationship like between the director and the producer? Because I still have a hard time understanding exactly what a producer does in comparison to what a director is doing.
So from what we got, there are different types. So there's a producer that will be like, 8:15, let's go. You got to get on, get to your lines. Are you mic'd up? So keeping things operationally for the day. There's a producer that's saying, what are we looking at balance-wise for how much we spent today? Writers on the chopping block faster.
I can see that.
Yeah. There's a producer that does finance, which is, I think when there's money, it's executive producer. And then there's a producer that talent, they'll work with the talent. So you can name anyone a producer if they bring something useful to the production. Okay. From what I at least that's the way they ran it when we were doing
it. Yeah. Now, do the relationship between the director and the producer, does that always have to be cordial? Does it always is it essential that your director and your producer get along in order to make sure that the production is going the way that everybody wants it to go?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think the producers even have to be on set.
Okay.
If they don't want to.
Great question, Vondell. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second.
In order. In order. Yeah, I don't think the producers have to be on set. they could do their job remotely, from at least the way we ran the indie production.
Right, because
I'm sure with the bigger budgets, you got way more to do. So there's probably producers on set.
I mean, is Big Kev on set for every MCU movie? You think he's on the set?
Spielberg ain't even on set, and he's the director.
Oh man. Uncle Jack should ask Olivia Wilde. I don't understand. What do you mean, Donovan? I don't understand what you mean by that.
Isn't that what's that latest movie?
Which one?
So Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh, I'm out of the loop on that. Was it a disaster? Was it? Yeah. Did it? Oh, okay. So yeah. Back to you said Spielberg is a director and he's not even on the set. Like
those
you
guys
might be
on set.
Oh, you might be giving up too much game there, bro.
Oh, are you serious? People think they're on set? They're not on set. Come on.
So who's in the field? Which directors are really in the field? You said what?
The assistant director and the cinematographer.
Oh, the AD and the cinematographer. Oh, they're the ones that are in the field.
Yeah, they'll probably send them a screenshot of when things that you probably like change the angle on that camera. Spielberg's not on set, bro.
Oh man, so the AD is really doing the heavy lifting, bro.
For sure.
Oh man, I mean, I think Nolan is in the field. I think
Nolan's in the field. He's a madman. He's in the field.
I think Spike Lee is in the field. QT is in the field.
QT's in the field.
He's
also a madman.
Jordan Peele is still probably there.
Yeah, he's still in the field. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Rodriguez used to be like a one-man fucking studio, bro. I'm cutting the film. I'm shooting it. I'm holding the camera.
Holding the lights.
I'm doing the rewrites right now on the set.
Oh no.
All of that. I'm you know what I mean? But yeah, to answer Vonell's question, the top 5 people who are important.
Executive producer.
Mm-hmm.
Director. Mm-hmm. Important for the film to get made, right?
Yep.
Executive producer, director, cinematographer.
Okay.
Sound.
Ooh, underrated.
Very underrated. And if you black, lighting.
Okay, so that's 5. Those are our most 5 important people right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
lighting's really important for black films.
Oh man. Okay, so don't worry.
I didn't even know about this, bro.
Oh, okay.
About the lighting part.
Mm-hmm.
It opened my mind, a whole new mind. I'm like, damn, that's why some of this shit looks trash. But the lighting shit's important, especially for darker skin.
It was a wild movie. Don't worry. Okay, Vonell Young says sound.
Yeah.
Sound. So how important is sound?
Very important. They mic you up. They're the boom guy. And they capture, after they do your shot, they'll capture sound without you talking, so they can mix it afterwards to make sure everything sounds realistic. Yeah, lighting's important too, bro. If you ever wonder why some of these stuff looks so weird, the lighting's bad. Some people take the lighting really, really seriously. I had a cinematographer, young guy, but he was obsessed with like making sure the lighting was on point, and the results were crazy. I was like, this looks like a Hollywood movie. Oh
man, Charles is in his bag right now. Yeah, man, we cooking, brother. We cooking, man.
Yeah, lighting's important.
We cooking right now. This is almost an education here, man. This is really.
I learned all this shit on the fly, bro.
Man, this is an education
right here. I had to pretend I'm like, yeah. Light that motherfucker up.
Oh man, so on the set, Charles, did you have your cup of coffee? Did you have a cup of coffee?
Nah, I was running on adrenaline, bro. I was excited. I knew it'd be. I can overexert myself if I know there's an end in sight. Okay. So I was down to buckle down, not eat for like 4 days, and just get it done the right way.
All right. People with trailers, is this a completely different group?
People with trailers. People that cut trailers? They like people that cut the trailer, right?
Okay.
Oh, people with trailers. No, we weren't that big, bro. Nobody had a trailer. But That's like the stars and shit, right? He means like the stars of the. Yeah, we weren't that big, but yeah, that's like the stars get their own trailer kind of thing. Fire the lighting dude from the Batman.
Oh man, well I
The one
know
that
no
he took.
mercy.
I mean,
No mercy.
how dark were they in Batman? Like, who was the
mean,
darkest dude on there? Zoe Kravitz's daughter?
Nah, that's a good point. I mean, it wasn't Jim Gordon.
Nah, it wasn't. They that was artistic. That was the darkest dude, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess this is the other thing I'm kind of wondering here. Then, like, I know a lot of movies. Did you guys shoot a documentary for this?
Like behind the scenes?
Yeah. Did you shoot a documentary?
No, we have pictures. We have pictures mostly, no documentary. We have a lot of pictures.
Okay.
There's
So
a behind the scene guy that walks around with the camera and takes pictures.
Okay. So essentially you're saying you were on set faking it till you made it, bro. Fake it till you made it.
I mean, I get it. Like, I know how I want it to look, and the being descriptive helps. I know like the emotion I wanted to give off. So I get that. And my sister shot films before. They gave us flashlights. No, as they walk in the theater.
That's insane, man.
I just they give people 3D glasses as they walk in. That's crazy. I couldn't see nothing in Batman. Oh no, that's not good. Then you're right. They should be fired. But yeah, my sister had done it. The difference was, my sister was stressed out after like the second day. So that's where I needed to step in more. Because I'm very good with stress. That's like one of my things. But yeah. So she knew like she would tell me if I knew she would tell me if like no, that's not the way you do that. So I'm like, okay, I must be doing this right. So yeah.
That's what's up, man. And this was a 4-day shoot?
Yes, 4 days.
4 days, man. Like,
yeah.
Now, was there any tension on set? Like, what was the most tense? If you can, divulge this. What was the most tense moment on set?
My sister and I.
It got elevated.
I don't think she would mind. She was stressed, so she wanted to stop it. I'm like, nah.
You just wanted to pull the
I
plug?
wanted to pull the plug because she was stressed. I'm like, nah.
Oh man.
We're gonna finish. We're gonna push through. I already took the time out, so we're pushing through. But after she knew I was doing that, then there was no point in being tensed up anymore because it's happening. So yeah, it's just stress. Like, and that was something I had to learn. Like, just because I'm really good at that doesn't mean that everybody can do it. So
you gotta eat the production.
You gotta eat the pre-production.
Nah, brother. No. Not in this bit. No, it's too much on the line to do that, right?
Yeah, there's no way. It's an indie film. Like, we got all the actors together. Everyone's excited. Why would we stop? There's no reason. There was no reason to stop. So it was stressful. She fell out of her element. So I just gave her a pep talk and said, we'll get through it. We'll be fine. But yeah. So that was the most tense part. But everybody else they were excited about the movie. Man. So that was the best part. Which is cool.
That's what's up, brother.
I can imagine when you're not excited about the movie and it's stressful. Can you imagine that shit?
I couldn't imagine devoting that kind of time and not
for something that's trash.
I couldn't imagine that. And you know that happens though.
All the time.
Like, oh man, I couldn't imagine being on the set and just thinking, yo, this is gonna lose so much fucking money right now.
After making it, and that's like, you know how you said like how I'm very critical of like if they have the backing and this I don't give them a pass. That's the reason why. Okay. Because I've been on the set, so you had all the flags and everything here. Why is this in theaters?
Got it.
Why is this released?
Got it.
So I don't give them a pass. I refuse.
It's like you didn't do everything that you could to make this as good as it could be, and it still got released.
Exactly.
Oh man, imagine being on the set for Dark Phoenix. No
Oh
sir.
man.
No sir. No sir. Listen, man, me and Donovan. Oh man, that was rough, bro. That was rough. That was
Y'all
rough.
saw that in theaters?
Yeah, bro. We pulled up, and then after it was over, we went straight to the bar. We went like the unofficial pilot to the behind the scene podcast happened that night after we left X-Men Dark Phoenix, bro, at the bar.
That's crazy.
At the bar, straight up. That was the unofficial like pilot. We sitting at the bar like, bro, what the fuck did they do to X-Men right here, bro? What the fuck did they do to X-Men, man? But
that's crazy. They got a second chance at completing that trilogy, and they blew it twice.
Man, look, it should have been over after Days of Future Past. That's when they should have pulled the plug on.
That was a peak. It peaked to that.
Like it's to the point now where people don't even remember Days of Future Past and X-Men First Class as being good movies.
Damn.
They don't even remember those as being good movies.
Good movies. Those were good too. Yeah, exceptional.
Oh man, First Class was so fucking fire, bro. Like that shit was so. I felt like X-Men was back after that, and then, oh man. But anyways, digress. But you make a good point. You make a very good point there, and I never like looked at it from that angle. It's like, why not put everything you can into making this as good as it can be? Nobody's gonna go perfect. I don't think anybody's ever batted 1,000 as far as like great quality movies. But
I agree.
That's fair. That's not an unfair standard to hold it to. We live in a "what have you done for me lately" society. Absolutely. So, what is it like working with talent? What is that like? And for you, and your first experience as a director, being on set working with professionals, what is it like to try to coach an actor going through lines when it's your first time ever doing that? Like, what is that like, man? Is there apprehension on your end?
I think the best part is the read. To get that a lot of that out during the read. So they already knew what I like. The General Charles came out during the read. So
General.
So you set the expectations during the read, like, let's take that again. Let's take that again during the read. So when they get to the thing, you set expectations of what I'm expecting, and if I say take it again, it's nothing against you. It's just I need you to take it again. And the other thing that was really good is that I didn't conversate with them. There was a separation. We didn't like after I take there's no take, there's a break, I'm out. I'm not around the production. And I thought that would be helpful so as not to make it so there's no like familiarity.
Keep it professional.
Yeah, like just so we're not acting like too familiar. Like at the end of the day, we don't really know each other. So so that made it easy. So it's just like I was like directing like a robot, like just do it this way. And I think with the writing and the read, it's very clear. As long as you know what I mean, that's why the read's important. It's very clear what we're looking for. So don't come and do some random ass shit. Don't do some random shit. There was a very emotional scene in it that the guy chose not to do on the read. Because he had to build up to it, which I guess that's fair. He was in character the entire shoot. So he was like really withdrawn from people, and I guess that's how he got through it, because it's kind of dark. So he was in character the entire shoot. So that made it easy for him. The only thing where he kind of tried to modify something at the end, I'm like, that's really good. We're going to do that take, and then we're going to do mine. And then we'll do it like that. And that was it.
So was this a crying scene?
Nah, nothing like that. It was him confronting. I don't know if I want to.
Oh, no, you don't got to do that. We don't got to do that.
Okay. He's confronting somebody from his past.
Okay.
So, but it had to be like, it was a build. Like, we're having a conversation, and then emotion, because you're remembering shit. So like emotional it was supposed to build.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to actually feel that way. So he stayed in character the entire shot to get it.
Man, that's
heavy. It was heavy. I was like, damn. Like,
yo.
I was like, damn. Like, yeah.
Okay. So building up to when you're on the set, how do you sequence your shots? Do you film your screenplay? Obviously, this was an indie project, as you were saying. Do you film your screenplay in the order of you film your project, excuse me, in the order of your scenes according to your screenplay, or do you break up some of your shots?
Yeah.
Like, how do
it
you
was
do
small
that?
Since it's like an hour, it was easier. So I don't know how they do those. I mean, they obviously do them whatever way they do it, but since it was smaller, we shot according to where we were. So
okay,
where they were staying, we used that as the bedroom shot. We did the bedroom, the tub, the thing with the daughter at home. We did all that. We're done with that location. Get on the road, go to the park. We shot at the park. We're done with that location. And then we shot at I had to go to this club to see if they let us shoot there. And next to the club, it was perfect. There was a Indian Mart right next to it. Mm-hmm. So we shot at the Indian Mart like dusk, and then it went straight into the nightclub scene, which was another scene. So we just shot it right next to each other. Yeah. The location part was awesome because like it just flowed, and I know that's like really difficult to pull off. But yeah, we shot according to easiest location and time of day.
Man. Yeah. Cause to me, this is like what bugs me out. This is what's insane. You know, you watch a movie, even when you read a script, we're under the impression that that's the order that it's going to be shot in.
Never.
That's insane. Never. That's insane. Like the job of the editor becomes that much more critical.
Absolutely.
And I think that's probably why you need a producer on set in some of these instances to make sure everybody is on point and knowing what it is they need to do in that moment.
Exactly.
Because how the hell do you film the ending before you shoot your opening scene?
Yeah,
like
that I didn't do. I shot the end at the end because the build, but everything else we just flipped. We were able to flip it according to location.
Mm-hmm. That would fuck me up, man. That would really.
Because I think then they said, what did they shoot first? Yeah, like Captain Marvel's scene in Avengers. They shot that like I forgot when they shot that like 2 years ago or some shit. Like had nothing to do with the movie. Yeah, man, that part's crazy. That tells you about the performances and the editing.
Yeah, like the continuity. The continuity is insane, man. Because you would never know that that's what made the difference there, man. Yeah. Like the very last scene of Endgame was when I think Cap handed when Iron Man handed Cap his shield back and they shook hands. Like that's the last scene that they shot, and that's a scene crazy. In the middle of the fucking movie. Like that's a scene that's like crazy. Dead in the middle of the movie, and you wouldn't think like, yo, like this was the last scene that they shot in this movie that's 3 hours here. Like, how do you even do that, man? Like that's a concept that just seems so foreign to me, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, that is it's still I still don't fully get it how that part works, but it works. They do it. It's wild.
So, all right. And man, this has just been a fire ass conversation, bro. Thanks for kind of giving us some of this game here. So when you're on day 4 of production, and you know that this is the last day, is there how do you balance the feeling of I don't want this to end versus all right, we're up against the deadline, we got to wrap this up? Like, I don't know, like. How do you feel on that last day, man?
I definitely wanted it to end. I definitely wanted it to end, bro.
Oh man.
Not like end abruptly, but finish the finish line. I was excited for the finish line. I mean, it got a little emotional. But I think because it's not like it wasn't like a huge movie. Maybe those ones feel a little different. Mm-hmm. But I think everybody was excited that we pulled it off. Like there was a feeling like, yo, we pulled it off.
Yeah, I felt like y'all pulled off a heist.
Yo, this is murder. Like, we did this. Like, the
Yeah.
shots are good. The performance, we didn't compromise. Like,
Mhm.
there was this idea, like, damn, like, we didn't compromise. Like, we didn't have to compromise. So, so that was dope. Yeah. So I think so. Like, oh, what's gonna fuck up? Are we gonna have to change the baby? Like, what's like that? We didn't get any of those. So, so I think it was an excitement that we didn't fuck it up.
Yo, that's oh man. So that's oh man. So when you rap, when you shoot your last scene and you say cut, what is the sense of relief on a scale of 1 to 10, bro?
Oh man, it's a nut. It's a nut for sure. It's a nut. It is a nut. Oh,
yeah.
Full on.
Yeah.
I got off like full on, like for sure. It was a nut. Amazing. Yeah, especially like I don't know how other people would do it. I'd do it that way again, where like I kind of like am in my zone, not eating, so I can just be like zoned in, like this is my food right now. So like yeah, it's like sure. I took my first bite of there was pizza. To my first bite, it felt different. Like like I took a drink. I think it was like rose water. I took rose water. I'm like, you're not supposed to drink rose water. Right. So yeah, we got the equipment together in the van, and it was a wrap.
Man,
real good.
Okay, so when you're in the editing room?
Yeah.
All right, you're watching this thing that you've created. You're watching this thing that you've directed. Every creative aspect of this, you've been a part of it. As you're looking at this in the editor's room, how do you separate, like, oh my God, this is my work here, and then actually doing your job, deciding
editing?
Like that has to be a head rush, man. That has to be.
Yeah, we started. We haven't finished editing it. Funny enough. But yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, it's weird. Like, oh wow, this shit's real. Like, it is a weird feeling. Like this is a real thing. But yeah, I'll stick to it. Product first. You can get in your emotions after you get an award or some shit.
Okay.
but no, for real. Like the idea, like you manifest something. I'm trying to see if the Folk Kingdom Come the book felt more or the movie. Damn, I don't know.
I'm gonna imagine it's probably close.
It's pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Oh man, I wish I could join in. This is why I want to quit my job and do this full time,
brother
Vonell. Hey, brother Vonell, you better keep working, man. Get that bag, brother. Chase that bag, brother. Chase that bag, brother. Word up. Chase that bag, brother. But I'm sure it's a similar feeling. I'm sure both of those had to be, if it's not 50-50, 49-51, something like that, right?
Yeah, I agree. There's something about a book that feels less like it couldn't have been made without you than the movie, which may not have been made the same. It would not have been the same. I mean, you can find other movies, but this version of it, yeah, it's similar. You're right. 49-51. I would say there's something about a book that's like it would not exist.
That's like the heavyweight championship, right?
That's there. It's like it just wouldn't exist without you. Rather than the movie, the concept could have hit somebody else in a different way. And I mean, there's so many different kinds of movies, so there's different kinds of books.
Well, yeah, but like with the film, that could have been made into something that looked nothing like your original vision.
Exactly, 100%.
You could have easily detached from it. Oh man. What is a production team's worst fear other than eating a production? That's a great question, man. Worst
fear. What were they afraid of? Going over budget.
Ooh, talk about that. What does that mean? How do you avoid that?
We did. Anyway. We did. But going way over budget where it's not something where you can like just come out and fix. Yeah, because I mean, equipment's rented. So you don't if you can't shoot this Monday and you're supposed to return it Wednesday, what's gonna happen now? You're gonna rush all your shoot into Tuesday and then like drop quality and the you know what I'm saying? Like those are things that could have gone wrong. And that's what I meant that like it's a nut, because it's like we didn't lose all that. And that was something my sister was afraid of. We're gonna go over budget. I'm like, then we're gonna have to this shit's getting made. This shit's getting made. It's like shit, get back to work. We're gonna have to come out of pocket a little bit. So yeah, going over budget, going way over budget where they can't recover. I think that's the biggest fear.
See, I think that's probably one of those parts that like that's probably something you don't have an understanding of until you're actually there on the set dealing with that, right?
100%. Especially because the equipment's expensive. If you want your shit to look good, the equipment's going to be expensive. So losing a day to whatever. We didn't get bad weather or anything, thank goodness. The only thing we had was the child actor we had. We should have shot immediately. We got her, but we're trying to like, and I'm like, I don't know about this. We're trying to get them acclimated to the couple. And once they got acclimated, it was like everything was a game to her, so she wouldn't listen.
Oh wow!
So that like we lost like half a day, but we were able to like get a shot like at that half day, like where she just stayed put and she did what she was supposed to. And we got it. You got it. Let's go next room.
So what if you don't mind me asking, what did you guys shoot on? Did you shoot on red cameras?
No, it was black. No, it wasn't Blackmagic. They wanted us to use a Blackmagic because Blackmagics are common. I could find it. Where's my phone? I don't know cameras, but the cinematographer was adamant about this, and everyone was like, just use a Blackmagic, but he knew what he was talking about because it came out incredible. He's like, I'm not shooting on a Blackmagic.
Oh man. Donovan wants to know who did the catering. I'm gonna need Chick-fil-A for lunch and Red Lobster for dinner.
And not Lobster for dinner.
Oh man.
My sister, she got like snack packets, and then we ordered the nights. So like during the day you snack and like drink, but the nights would be the dinner trips. We ordered from a Jamaican place the first day. Second day was Chinese. Third day was like barbecue. So she ordered at nights, and then during the day it was more like snacking. Let me see what this camera was called. Camera. 1 terabyte storage. That's another thing a lot of people don't talk about.
So this movie, it was filmed digitally then, right? You guys shot this digitally. You didn't shoot this on actual film then, right?
No, we shot digitally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, cameras aside, all that aside. So you still haven't seen the final cut.
I have not. It needs to be color. It looks the shots he sent me, the color grading. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. I can't believe it's real. But I've not seen the final shot. But that shit. I now know. Like I always like, oh, why does shit like look cinematic and some shit doesn't? It's the camera and the lens. All that shit's a camera and a lens.
Man,
that's it.
So your eye has been so fine-tuned now that you can look at something and be like, this is why it looks this way.
You know how like those TVs with the fast frame rate and it makes shit look like like
man.
That. Yeah. So when shit looks like that, it's the camera and the lens.
Cause that bugs the shit out of me sometimes. Cause I feel like there's a trick being played.
Yeah.
It's like they look like they're moving on like in fast forward.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. It looks good for like Animal Planet and shit. That shit looks good for that, but not a movie.
No,
I'm not trying to see that shit in a movie, bro.
No, because it doesn't look like that. Takes me out of it. Yeah, that suspends some of my disbelief a little bit. It's like, this TV is 4K, but like y'all are damn near putting me on the set.
In the set.
Like I don't for real, bro. Like
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I'm
it's
like,
like, damn, man. I want to just go back to watching this on low res or some shit
low
like that, man.
resolution. Straight up. Straight up. I agree.
Man, but like you like so when you see the final cut of Fatherhood, like what are you expecting? What are your expectations
I
of?
think we're pretty good.
Mhm.
We didn't compromise. There were people that wanted to. We added some shots from people that had suggestions. I don't know if we'll make it a final cut. I doubt it.
Mhm.
But I think it's gonna be pretty good. I'm excited. They were all teasing me that this is 40 minutes. I'm like, nah, this is gonna be like an hour. They're all teasing me like, nah, this is gonna be like 40 minutes, bro. I'm like, all right.
No, we getting our 60. We getting
We
our
did that
60.
60 minutes. I want that at a festival. I want to put in that festival as a short film, as a
Mm-hmm.
feature. It has to be an hour to be a feature. So um I'm like, nah, this is an hour. I don't care if we gotta take a little some long shots of scenery
Mm-hmm.
to set the tone. I'm gonna get my hour.
So no shame in padding it out. There's no shame in padding it out. Padding out
If
the
it's
runtime.
pretty, I'm getting that hour. Shit, 45. You crazy.
Yeah, man. We gonna pad that runtime, man.
But no man.
So when you see this final cut, man, like, is it a? Oh, man, I know it's an accomplishment, but okay, in the moment, I'm sure you're gonna feel excitement, elation, relief, but when does that sense of motivation kick in? When does it kick in to
To
be
do it again?
motivated to like, you know what I mean, tackle the next thing?
I don't really have a film that small budget I want to. I have films I want to do, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing that small budget anymore.
Okay. Wow.
So,
So we're already past that. That's
oh
over now.
yeah, I don't have it. If I thought of something, fatherhood was like I thought of it. My sister's like, "Yo, this is good. We should shoot this." I'm like, "What do you mean we should shoot this? Like we should shoot this. Bomb. Let's get pre-production together, put an audition out, and then we made it. So, nothing's hit me like that.
Okay.
Your top 3 directors.
Oh man.
Nolan.
Oh man. We just gonna cut it to 3.
Damn,
Is three enough?
that's tough, bro.
Is 3 enough?
Nolan. Alex Garland.
Underrated.
I like Cameron's. I like his consistency, but I don't really. His direction doesn't really. I can't watch the movie and be like, "Oh, that's a Cameron movie." You feel me? I like his consistency, but nothing about his direction.
There isn't a signature. There's nothing signature about what he does. Right?
No, there isn't. Damn. Alex Garland. You can tell it's Garland. You can tell it's Nolan. I mean, damn. That's rough that I can't think of a third. I want to say Spike Lee, but it would be all because of QT.
QT over Spike?
Yeah.
Interesting. Donovan says Nolan, Scorsese, Spielberg off
Scorsese. For range purposes, I'll stick to Nolan. Well, even Nolan. Even Nolan's kind of in a box.
I think one of his more underrated joints, Dunkirk, was really
Dunkirk.
That was very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
It's getting dicey.
It is getting dicey. It's getting very dicey. But so you said Nolan, Alex Garland, and QT? QT or like because it was
I'll have to put QT over Spike.
Interesting.
I'll have to put QT over Spike for creativity and direction.
Mm.
I can point out Spike Lee movies that are creative with his signature, of course. But it didn't always serve the story to be those directions he took.
And I wish
it
that he
served
never
more of
did
his
old.
style.
My bad. Go
You
ahead,
say
brother.
you wish he never did which one?
I wish that Spike Lee never did Old Boy. Like that's one that should.
Oh my god, yeah, that's
That
true.
I don't understand that, man. I don't understand why Spike
It does
Lee.
feel out of place. It does feel out of place.
25th Hour was really good. I love 25th Hour.
I love 25th Hour.
But I mean, with okay, and this is the thing. I'm glad we're on this topic here. You mentioned that you let your lead do different takes of his lines. How do you feel about improvisation with your actors and your material?
I love it if it's good. I experienced this more when I did the motion comic for Kingdom Come, where the guy I chose was South African, and he like added like some Sosa language in between his lines. Sometimes he overdid it. I asked him just do the line as usual, but other times it fit. So I'm open to it. I want the best version. So give me that 9. I definitely want the 9. Okay. If it doesn't work, then we'll cut it.
Because like the Coen brothers, from what I've heard about them, if it ain't in the script, it ain't making the cut. Nolan number
Coen
1.
brothers like Burn After Reading.
No Country for Old Men.
No
Fargo.
Country for Old Men. You see, No Country for Old Men, you can't. Nah. You need to stay exactly what we want you to say.
And that's such a great movie.
It's amazing.
But there's like, if it ain't in the script, we ain't having it at all. I think Quentin Tarantino is kind of the same way as well.
I think. I wonder if he like let certain, because Leonardo improv the nigga singing. Yeah. But I wonder if he's like depending on the talent.
Okay.
Thanks, Dion. Depending on the talent, he probably lets it. But I'm open to it. I want the best version. I'm definitely open to it. I've seen people do like especially when I'm doing motion comic, I was using different voice actors, do something completely off of what I was asking for, and I just didn't go back to them. Way off.
So, do you think like if you're on the set or whatever, would that be a conversation worth having with the talent? Like, hey, if I'm a talent, hey, do you mind if maybe we kind of, this is an idea that I got, because you said you did that. So you're receptive to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So especially during the reading, that's the best time to. If you're, I want to like try and make this my own and all that. Yeah, let's see it. Go ahead.
Because man, like I imagine some directors are like probably super control freaks and just can't go for that. They can't have it.
I think so. I would say I don't think a Nolan would allow that really, unless it's somebody that he respects. So someone like Leonardo as well. But before Leonardo, who was the biggest actor you worked with before? Oh, Bale. Bale doesn't seem like the improv type.
Yo,
Bale seems like he'll do what you want him to do. He might give you a suggestion. He doesn't seem like he'll just like Robert Downey Jr. seems like he'll just say whatever the hell he wants to say.
Yep.
Like I imagine that's annoying as fuck.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Dude,
oh man.
Cut. Rob, what the fuck was the peace sign in the back of the car? What? It works. Peace. Love peace.
It may. Well, let's look at it. Yeah, let's look at it in post. You look at it in post, and it's like, oh shit,
it works.
Motherfucker was right. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, you said no. I just want to be sure. You said Nolan, Alex Garland, Tarantino.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not gonna say top 3. Well, we'll start with this here. you mentioned Lois and Clark as a guilty pleasure kind of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your guilty pleasures in entertainment that you know you can go to?
Oh man, Lois and Clark. I was watching The Flash for a little bit. I kind of fell behind on it.
Mm-hmm.
What else I watched, dude? I was watching. I went back and watched stuff like I watched. This isn't really guilty. It was a good show, The Good Wife.
How I hear that was a pretty good show.
It wasn't a bad show. It was I was surprised. I mean, that was a good. That was I watched that. And let's go to like Netflix. Guilty pleasures. I don't have a lot.
Okay,
In fact, I would say Lois and Clark replaced The Flash for me. That was it. I get like 2 slots, and they kick the other one out.
Oh man, random though. Like for me, it used to be battle rap. Like battle rap was a guilty pleasure.
Battle rap. It's not a guilty. That's good. What are we talking about? Guilty pleasure here.
You don't think battle rap is a guilty pleasure?
Battle rap is a phenomenal genre.
It is.
It's amazing. Are you hearing these metaphors?
I mean, all right. Can we talk about? All right, we got time. Let's chop this up here.
Battle rap is incredible now.
Okay, so the reason I say guilty pleasure is because like when Smack and URL were like actually releasing their battles on YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
A 3-round battle where they're rapping 3-minute rounds, quote unquote, will be like 58 minutes, dog.
I see what you're saying.
Like 58 minutes. You really gotta be like tuned in.
It's true.
To sit through a 58-minute like video of guys rapping over no beats.
It's
and
incredible,
then,
though.
Yeah, and
it's incredible.
But then you get the crowd reaction, and then it's like they bring the bars back 3 times so that the crowd can sing along with them. Like 58 minutes, bro.
It's incredible. Battle rap is.
And I used to binge watch them joints on the URL channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. I know battle rap is incredible. Like the level of metaphors, the level of writing, the level of performance, crowd control, lyricism, all of it is just off the charts.
Yeah.
Like industry rappers could never be battle rappers. There's so much that they got to deal with. Just even just standing on stage and somebody rapping to you like that.
And you have to hold on to whatever you wrote while they're doing it. Like the whole concept is like it feels so life or death.
Yes.
There's such an anxiety. I gotta wait for you to rap 10 minutes. You're gonna be barring me up, talking about my wife, talking about my kids, and I gotta hold on to my rap for the next round. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest art forms to me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, man.
Because not only you can't just come out there and just be like, oh yeah, guess what room I'm in. They gotta perform that shit. They gotta perform that shit.
Like you really gotta be on it, bro. You gotta be like, oh man,
it's impressive. It's really impressive. I love obviously the classic Calico, and Loaded Lux.
That was
Look at Me King.
Oh,
I love it. Classic.
Look at me, King.
Look at me, King.
Oh man, you gonna get this work.
You gonna get this work.
You gonna get this work.
Oh. You're barring up somebody. They'll be like, that was soft. That was soft. That was soft.
Yo, that's light.
That's light. That's light.
And then you got goods. You got goods like talking through your rounds with the Henny, with the Henny cup. Yeah, looking over at the crowd like, hey.
It's crazy.
So with battle rap, oh man. Oh,
your daddy wasn't a gangster.
Your daddy wasn't no gangster.
Another lost nigga.
Oh.
You gotta remember your next rounds after that shit.
Hey, listen, I love Calico. Calico was looking at Smack.
Good.
Yeah.
Anybody would have died that day.
Yeah, and Calico was on stage looking at Smack like, "Hey, Smack, man, like, what are we doing right now, Smack? What are we?" And I still think, and I mean, Loaded Lux choked. He choked in that first round.
Oh yeah, for
Harlem
sure.
Hospital. He said Harlem Hospital giving beds
out.
Oh man, let me get it together.
Let me get it together now.
Let me get it together. You know, like Calico. What did he say, man? One of my favorite like punchlines he said ever. He said, "It's amazing how I draw something just to erase niggas." Like, whoo. Like, and then Loaded Lux comes back and spits that third round, and all of that Calico said in the first 2 rounds is just gone, bro. Like, that turned battle rap into theater.
Yeah. Thank you.
It turned it into theater to where it doesn't matter that it was 3 rounds. People are gonna say Calico died off of the strength of 1 round from Loaded Lux. Even though it was a 3-round battle.
Yep.
But like, so with battle rap, this is what I want to ask you here, man. The appreciation that I have for it just comes. I like the competition. I like the spirit of competition.
Of course. Absolutely.
Who are some of your favorite battle rappers, bro?
Oh, bro. Here we go. Charlie Clips. You can't. Charlie.
I got a love-hate relationship with Charlie
Clips.
Charlie Clips is damn near unbeatable.
He really is. Even when you beat him,
you still lose. There's 2 things that happen in the like. If I was a battle rapper, I don't care how many views, I'm not battling Charlie Clips. No, you either lose or it's a terrible battle.
Yeah,
and he gets a bigger battle right after that.
Just like that. It's crazy. Charlie Clips. Tay Rock.
Oh, Tay Rock.
I like Tay Rock.
I like Tay Rock too, man.
Charlie Clips, Tay Rock. Loaded Lux just off that battle. I like what Mook did to him. I love what Mook did to him.
That was a deconstruction.
It was a deconstruction. I love what Mook did to him. Especially since, and you know what I love about battle rap? If you listen to rap mainstream, it's very easy for you to like label these. Okay, that's that kind of rap. That I've never listened to Murder Mook prior to that battle, and now I have a different, because that's brilliant. Like you have to be smart as fuck to do this. Like, people don't understand. Like, forget what your standards are for a high IQ. These guys are literally geniuses. And the idea that doesn't get respected is mind-boggling, because it's crazy what these people do, tying these things together and weaving it between their lines and bringing it back. Like, it's a masterclass each time. Even the underground, the low tier or whatever they call that. They're all insane. Insane.
Did you see Murder Mook versus Tay Rock?
I've not seen. Is that new?
That's on it's on the URL channel, bro. Check that out. You want to talk about it?
I can tell, because Tay Rock doesn't back down.
Yeah, but Murder Mook was talking to his soul.
Oh no, they killed him! No.
I'll put it in the Discord when we wrap up here. I'm gonna put that in the Discord.
I love Tay Rock because it looks like any moment his heart's gonna just pop out his chest.
Yo, and Murder Mook,
I am not Pat Stay.
I'm not Pat. And rest in peace, Pat Stay. Rest in peace, Pat Stay. He said, "I'm not Pat Stay." Oh man,
stop playing with me.
Listen, what did he tell? Oh man.
They put it all out there. It's just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's art. It's just like, I wish they were getting millions of dollars. I agree with that. But would it be the same?
No.
If they were getting millions of dollars?
No, it wouldn't, because then it would become like pillow fighting. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be what it is now. Like, these guys got to be hungry. You got to be hungry to be on stage and like be willing to stand in front of that, and then be willing to put that out there. Like,
they're gladiators.
Yeah, man. And is it better that these battles are not judged? That it's up to the viewer?
I agree. I feel like there's more on the line. There's more on the line when it's not judged. I think if people figured out, it's kind of like UFC. You kind of figure out what the judges want to see.
Okay.
Takedown, top control, and then you got a boring ass fight, but you won.
Right.
But leaving it in the audience, you know what? Like, it's everything. It's all or nothing when it's the audience. Man. It's all or nothing. You don't get 2 rounds and then you win. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing.
Hey, that just takes something different, bro. Like
it does.
Man, I was talking to my homeboy Lewis the other day, man, and he's not a DNA fan. He doesn't like DNA at all, bro. And I'm 50-50 on DNA.
I haven't heard any new DNA.
No, I haven't either.
Okay. Because DNA wasn't good. I thought DNA was pretty good. I mean, he's not as good as those guys.
No.
But he's pretty good. He's pretty good. I just haven't heard any new DNA. Like these new guys, I don't know if he can hang with who's this new guy they're pushing?
Who are you talking about?
He's under Tay-Rock, I think.
Easy the Black Captain from Philly? Yeah, man. You talking about Easy, bro, from Philly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who did he go against recently?
He battled Goods and he battled Calico. And those were pretty good battles. Those were pretty good battles, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Easy is nice too, bro. But I think the GOATs in battle rap gotta be like Murder Mook, even though people don't like Mook, Loaded Lux. I with Charlie Clips, man, he's an enigma to me. Charlie Clips is just an enigma. That guy is just like a puzzle that nobody can solve. You're gonna die or you're gonna win a terrible battle.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna care.
It's true.
I used to like Averb, man. I used to like Averb a lot, but Averb kind of fell off a little bit too.
The only Averb battle I saw was when Clips freaking. That was the only time I saw an Averb battle, and
he fried him.
That day.
Averb got fried on stage with the waves in his head, bro. He got fried.
Yep.
But like the only reason I say it's a guilty pleasure is just as a fan, there's a lot that you got to devote to it. You got to devote your time to be able to watch it, and you got to devote your attention so that you're catching what it is that they're saying, man.
Yeah,
it's almost like decoding something because a lot of people can't sit through battle rap.
No, I agree. Ain't it evil to live backwards? Ain't it evil to live backwards?
Oh my goodness, bro. Like, and then he ties that back into his actual lifestyle. And it's like,
it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Oh man. And I used to like Math Hoffa too, man. A lot of people
I would love that. I would love like a bunch of, high, like, and I know it's kind of like that, but not to an extent like we all like the way like Jay-Z would go to the Grammys, like just all go to a battle in our suit or whatever. We take pictures of the red carpet.
Yeah, and then just go to the battle,
opera,
right?
Like opera or theater. That'd be dope. Dope.
Just go to the battle and enjoy
the battle. And enjoy the battle. And enjoy lyricism. Enjoy because they put it all out there, man.
That would be fire. Like that setup would be dope, man. That would be.
And for Stack, staying in there for so long, and we know people hopped off it and made their own shit. I'd love that for him for being the pioneer for it, because I think they made one in Canada now.
Yeah.
But they're all copies.
Right, battle rap is everywhere, but people, and the thing that's weird about it is I think everybody's a fan of battle rap.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everybody is a fan of the lyrical competition and picking a winner and at least deciding who's better between whatever it is that they're hearing. Even if you don't watch battle rap, I think everybody in some form is a fan because we've all seen it somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
whether it be 8 Mile, 106 in Park, anything like that. I just think that the issue that they have is kind of trying to figure out how to keep it authentic, but make it accessible to people that might not be fans, because they talk the shit that they say to each other would be so problematic in regular conversation.
That's true. That's true.
You know, it'd be hard to imagine like a corporate sponsor being okay with some of the stuff that these guys are saying, because
Sure.
everything else is so sanitized and, you know, obviously politically correct, to where Tay-Rock would be pulled off like like, you know, within the first 8 bars of a Tay-Rock battle, they got to cut to commercial break.
Cut to commercial break. Oh, that's true. That's true. How do you keep it that way, right?
So, you know, but I agree with that. Like, that's an interesting kind of thought that you got there, man. Battle rap as opera would just be so fire. That would be fucking amazing, bro. Seriously, that'd be amazing, man. I mean, they let Cassidy come back and get a bag. You know what I'm saying?
I think Joe Budden had a battle, right?
Yeah, he battled Hollow the Don, but he was holding the microphone, fucking smoking a cigarette. That was Joe Budden when he was on pills and shit, man. Like, he had a meltdown on stage, man. But
oh man,
I mean, I guess okay, it's not a guilty pleasure. I'll say it's more of an acquired taste. Battle rap is an acquired taste.
It is.
And that's for the initiated there. But
yeah,
I don't know if I could ever let that go. I want to stop. I want to like stop.
You want to stop watching it?
I want to. I can't.
Why?
Though. The reason I say this, and I don't want to be like, okay, battle rap fans are like worse than wrestling fans, bro.
Okay.
And comic book readers, like and this might get us some trouble or whatever, but like,
here we go.
Battle rap fans to me are like, man, they're behind the curve as far as, okay, so you got comic book fans that'll say, I don't like this comic book because whatever. With battle rap fans, they go so hard for their favorite battle rappers that it kind of gets a little scary, bro. It gets kind of like, you look at the comment section for a battle and it's like, dude, you don't know this guy on stage. Appreciate the art. Appreciate the art. Like, just because Murder Mook says that Loaded Lux, like, what did he say about Loaded Lux? He said Loaded Lux got robbed for his coat when they battled. It's like, okay, just because Murder Mook says Loaded Lux got his coat taken doesn't mean that you can take Loaded Lux's coat. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Don't make assumptions about the person in the battle just because you like what their opponent said to them.
No.
Like, people think that Math Hoffa is soft because he got punched by Disaster.
I don't know what they're thinking.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I see Math Hoffa get knocked out like 3 people.
Right. But because, you see what I'm saying? But because Math Hoffa gets punched by Disaster, you're using that as a reason to not like Math Hoffa and think that he's soft in real life. Like, no, that's not how this works.
That's not like some kid shit.
Yeah, like, just in that fan base isn't up to par with reality sometimes. Like,
I feel you.
Enjoy entertainment. They're rapping. Yes, there's a raw element to it, but this is still entertainment, bro. Like,
true. Yeah, I'm completely. I have no idea about the fans.
Yeah,
I watch that shit. I zone out.
I wish I could do that. I wish
that's a bar. I'm like, damn, that's a bar.
I gotta start doing that. I need to adapt that kind of philosophy there.
Yeah, it's like I'm watching, like, you know what I mean? So I'll probably scroll down in the comments and see, but I won't engage them.
Yeah.
Let's see what these people are saying. Like, what? Nah.
Yeah, man.
I definitely just enjoy I literally just enjoy watching them, like, man, bar for bar, the emotion, all that shit. It's crazy. Man,
I'm gonna have to I'll put some stuff up in Discord, man.
Yeah,
I'll put some stuff up in Discord, bro. So that's an acquired taste. I take that back, saying it was a guilty pleasure. That's more of an acquired taste.
Man. It's amazing. I love it. I love anything that'll like expand thought process.
Mm-hmm.
They drop some crazy like themes and shit in there, man. Like some shit like you have to study. They literally have to study this. Like the thought of it, like how much went into them putting that together. Like,
man,
bro, crazy stuff. I saw. Was it I can't remember the bar, but it had something to do with DNA.
Oh man,
I think it was about somebody getting shot. That I said that's one way for Charlie and DNA to get together or some shit.
Oh,
it was crazy. Like, but bro, they're crazy with the bars. They're crazy with the bars.
Man, I'm gonna have to go through the archives, man. I gotta go through the archives, man. What did B Magic say? Because I know
B Magic is good too.
Oh, bro, B Magic when he battled DNA, because I guess DNA's name is Eric. B Magic told what he said. He said, "It's B Magic, motherfucker, a Midwest nigga that'll bury you. Don't let me catch Eric in the middle of America." And it's like, hold on. Eric is in the middle of America, God. And B Magic is from St. Louis, and St. Louis is in the Midwest.
It's brilliant.
Don't let me catch Eric in the middle of America. Like,
and I'll argue that even us as an audience that appreciate a bar like that are brilliant to pick it up right there. Pick it up right there. Because it'll take a second. We're like, and they'll be like, oh, they have like those bars that like they'll hit. And then it just hits you like a couple bars later.
The delayed reaction to the punchline, bro. The delayed reaction is insane.
It's crazy.
Oh man, yeah, bro. I gotta go to the archives, man. There's so many classic bars,
amazing ones,
and it's like I don't know, man. The thing I always wonder is like, do they write this a cappella? Are they writing this over instrumental? I would love to see like a battle rapper do like an in-depth breakdown of how they write their bars going into a battle. I'd love to see that.
Too. I mean, they talk about preparing for 3 months, 2 months, 3 months. I'm like, damn, like, what? Of course it's gonna come out amazing like this. 3 months,
right? But think about
you and your pen.
Like, you got a job, you got a girl, you might got kids,
yeah.
You got all this other stuff here, but you really are like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it is, bro. It is, man. It is, dog. Like, I didn't even think we'd be talking about battle rap. That's what's up.
Battle rap. I love battle rap.
That's what's up, bro.
I love battle rap.
Just before we wrap this up here, I do want to. So, O Kingdom Come.
What's up?
What's the timeline on a release, on an actual release for O Kingdom Come? Are you okay? So, are you able to divulge that right now?
Oh yeah. So that's gonna go to the people that backed. So the issue is if I self-publish after, there's some avenues that will be closed to me. So that's the part that's wiggly. So people will get it. There's going to be ways to get it from the site and stuff, but publishing it like out is going to be, I want to decide if that'll be best, especially if it hits the way I want it to hit. There'll be some avenues that are closed if I self-publish. So that's the only part. So like for a mass availability, that's going to be something that's probably I'll decide within like 2-3 months.
Okay.
But it'll be available to pick up a copy or 2 copies. People hitting me up from Africa asking for big chunks, like 1,000 units. I'm like, damn, I just made. That's I've made the money for the book back.
1,000 units off rip.
1,000 units
off the rip, bro.
Already. So that's what I meant. Like, I can eat off it if you do it right. You can eat off it for a minute. So I want to make sure that I do that. That whatever I do after I give it to the backers and the few people that ordered, that it's set up so I can eat off it. Because I'm ready. I'm on book 3. So there's 3 books. Each one will be about 128 pages. Book 2 is my bruh.
Heavy
Book
work.
2 as much as I love book 1, but book 2 is just book 3. I'm completing it. Book 2 is crazy. Book 2 is gonna be crazy. That's my 2 Towers. That's my Daredevil season 3. That's my
Empire Strikes Back. All
for
of
Empire
that.
Strikes Back. Book 2 is crazy. So I get to get into a lot more shit in book 2. So that's the only thing for mass production. I don't want some avenues have been presented to be closed off by self-publishing, but it's got to be right. So I want to show them, look, I already did this without y'all. What's that bread look like? So, so yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to making connections, where does that process start? Where does the process start of building relationships as a creator to get your product out there?
That part sucked. The most success I saw was with ads. These Facebook groups can make you think something different than reality. Because everybody's creative, trying to create their own shit. So that's understandable. But my assumption was everybody was like me. So if I see something that's dope, I want it. I want to pick it up, especially if it has nothing to do with what I'm working on. But that's not what I've experienced. It's not like that. And it shouldn't be. And that's fine. I just needed that realization early on. Definitely ads. You gotta give it up. You gotta give it up, ads, and then cons. That's probably the best places, cons. But I've only been to like 2, so I wanted to make sure to go there with a product. So ads and cons for at least in this medium, ads and cons, and that's probably better answered by other comic people.
Of course.
But creator the groups that we had where everybody just talking online and shit. We need this, we need that. Bullshit. Bullshit. Biggest load of bullshit I ever heard in my life. There's even some guy, and I appreciate him. Shout out to I think there's Miles. He would comment, "This is so dope! I can't wait! I can't wait! I can't wait!" And I think I mentioned this. And it was out. He's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of things are kind of hurting right now." I'm like, I'm gonna need you to back that, or like we can't talk about wanting to do this. Like we gotta. If y'all want to do this, we gotta go ahead and do this. Little as you can. So just so you're not just all talk. You just got it. He's like, you're right. I got a copy. So I appreciate him. That's a lot. Maybe people just need that pep talk. Like you literally cannot have this conversation if we don't do this. This isn't a derivative. This isn't anything. Someone's trying to do it right now. Show up, or shush.
Right. Because it's almost
or shush forever.
It's almost like a free seat at the table. Of course, talk is definitely cheap.
Absolutely.
It's almost a free seat at the table to where I get what you're saying, man. Because sometimes, and it's not to be negative, it's not to make an assumption about somebody's intentions. But if we're having this conversation now and I let it keep going, at some point, if I do find this success, somebody's going to feel like you owe them something because they had the conversation with you before it got to where it ended up going.
True.
Like you want to gauge how much somebody really supports you. You don't want to put them in a position where they're not able to provide for themselves. But it's like, if Old Kingdom Come blows up tomorrow, buddy that was saying he was going to support you might be like, hey, man, in your DMs, hey, man, remember, I said XYZ. Is it cool if I get some merch? Or you can't have that. You got to be sure what the intentions are before moving to a certain point.
Yeah, and what's the most secure way? So say like Kingdom Come does blow up. I'm pretty sure the book those people have is pretty valuable at that moment. Especially if it's like, oh, that's it. That version's not going to be printed again. And that's something I want to make sure I do that. I'm not printing that cover again. I won't print. That's y'all's. So it's supposed to be like, okay, you took this step with me, and I made sure that it paid dividends for you. So that's probably so it has to be ads to find that group of people that are into that, because doing it in groups and it's not everybody's the same. Some people just like getting involved in the conversation. It's not a bad thing. You just have to, be able to filter them out. Yeah.
So when this drops, how do we get copies, brother? And I mean, I'm sure that's more information that's gonna come along later on, right?
Yeah, you can get it right now on the site. There's a pre-order. But after, and that will depend on how those avenues do. So am I gonna go traditional? Am I gonna go comic? Is someone gonna be like, hey, nope, fuck all that, just do it solo? That's the part that I'm figuring out, whether it'll be one of those three, because there's options. It's just about which one makes the most sense.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man. Hey, we 2 hours 10 minutes in, brother. I think this is a good point to wrap it up, man. This is good, brother. This was some solid convo here, man. Solid convo, brother. Yeah, there will be a part 2, man. Like you dropped some jewels in this joint tonight, man, for sure.
You too, man. You too. I appreciate you.
Yeah, this was a good convo here, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like at this point, I think like Donovan, brother, this is the 4 horsemen of the behind the scene podcast, man. Dion, Donovan, Charles, D. Smith, Uncle Jack, man. Behind the scene podcast. We're going to catch y'all on the next one, man. We out of here. Hey, be safe down there in Florida, brother. You know what I mean? I'm going to holler at you in the Discord, man. Appreciate your time tonight, dog.
All right, man. Anytime.
Peace, brother. Peace.
All right, see ya.